One that stands out is something that that happened during our market research phase. So before we designed and built anything, we spent 3 months talking to potential customers and trying to understand their behaviors and habits pertaining to lunch. And one of the things we learned was that most people only walk about 2 blocks to get lunch. And one of the reasons for that is that people are very busy. They just don't have time to go a half a mile and get lunch and wait in line. And so we realized that in order to be successful, we needed to bring lunch closer to people as opposed to making them go further for the lunch experience. And so that was an aha moment that really drove the development of our technology, which is the idea of having a food delivery system that is accessible to the consumer within a 2-block radius, and that still allows them to have access to fresh, local, organic, healthy food. So for a couple of years, I served as an entrepreneur in residence for a startup accelerator called Venture Hall, which is based in a small town with about 65,000 people. Some of the challenges involved with starting a company in a small town have to do with access to support, access to mentoring, for example, access to entrepreneurs who have successfully built businesses and can sit down with you and give you advice. Another issue that people face is access to capital. Most startups are funded initially by angel investors, and most angel investors tend to be found in large cities. And if you're in a small town or an underserved area, it can be really hard to get that initial capital to get you going, that sort of bridge you to the point when you're ready for venture capital. There's no easy solution to that. Oftentimes there are grant programs or state programs that are available to provide that bridge financing. But at the end of the day, entrepreneurs just have to be persistent. They have to sort of be committed and passionate about their ideas and willing to talk to as many people as they can and get a lot of no's before they'll finally get that 1 or 2 yeses that'll get them the financing they need to move forward. So Nitin and Scott and the other folks at Elevate have been incredibly helpful in opening doors in the Portland area. So Nitin has introduced me to other investors. Our first seed round was led by Elevate, but the rest of the round was provided by angel investors, a number of whom were introduced to us by Nitin. Nitin has also introduced us to potential customers, to real estate investors in the area who would be interested in hosting our concept. So he's done a really good job of opening doors and introducing us to people. Those are relationships that we could have developed over time, but Nitin was able to sort of cut through all of those obstacles and make those connections right away. And that's really important with a startup because you don't have the luxury of time. You need to be able to move quickly. You need to be able to build a community of supporters. And Nitin was instrumental in doing that for us. I spend a lot of time studying startups and trying to understand why some succeed and why others fail. And one of the main reasons startups fail is because they build a product that the market doesn't want or won't pay for. When you're an entrepreneur and you come up with an idea, it's really easy to sort of get lost in the idea and to forget that there's an actual customer on the other end whose problem you have to solve. So the advice I would give entrepreneurs is get out of your garage or your office and talk to customers. Before you build anything, before you go out and raise money, go talk to real customers. Find out if what you are proposing to build will actually solve their problem and if they would actually pay for it. And that's tough for a lot of entrepreneurs to do because a lot of them are tech types of people, they're maybe introverted, or they are convinced that their idea is going to change the world. And oftentimes that conviction runs into the hard reality of the marketplace. And the way to sort of minimize that risk is to get out there and talk to people.